Hey YouTubers, it's Paul. It's the day before again. Didn't I remember saying that also last year? This is before Alberto. It's March the, what is it? No, it's March. It's May the 25th now, and it probably is one of those things that you say, oh no! You just get everything fixed and then it screws it up again. But that's basically what we're looking at. It's really kind of refreshing out, basically. I'm gonna whiten out here a little bit. Yeah, why not? Well. Ah, there you go. Oh boy, looks like an amazing, beautiful landscaping. Well, folks, if you and remember I told you I wasn't gonna take pictures of anything after Irma because it looked like shit, and I thought this was a way better way to give you an idea of you know, what this place did used to look like. Who wants to see disasters all the time? Anyway, this lot, excuse me, I was the third person to purchase in this community in 1992, and it was nice actually, although it was under construction and there were nails all over the roads, and I punctured 3 tires when I was watching the house being built, so that's so typical, you know. Good old Paul. Anyway, so you have that big old tree sort of right in front of us with large leaves. Your view to under it will be the garage door. It's called the Sterculia apetala, and it's the official tree of the country of Panama. I don't know why, because I've never seen any there, but they say they have them, so it's the national tree. But you can see how dripping this place is with, I mean, it's really pretty. You know, I want to move. Brad and I love California, but to do what we're doing here, I mean, I don't know how that would be affordable. I don't think it will, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, this is how a lot of 64 wide, 194 deep on one side, 187 deep on the right side, and in the back 153, I reckon. So that's one of the things that you know, we see is going to be very telling, as it were. We're just passing a Masenda philippi in the coffee family. Real neat plant. I had one a long time ago and it didn't do so well. Anyway, that's it. It's got some coconut sprouting there. It doesn't look as vivid, but it is real nice. Be with you in a minute. Okay, bye. All right, folks. Well, I was just talking to Talia. Talia's gifted in landscape too, but she's just working so hard, and I miss talking to them. And you know, Luigi and she moved into the neighborhood. God, it's got to be over a year now. And we got together for a beer, but we just don't have time, and it's scary. Anyway, here we are on. This is Old Calcutta, I call it, because it's so pretty. And my neighbor absolutely hates what I've done because she lost her husband. She's very jealous of things that she shouldn't be. Oh, here, let me zoom in on this Masenda. This is kind of nice. It's a Masenda philippi, as I think I said. And it looks almost superficially like a dogwood because it's in the coffee family. But we had it in another location, one of these, about 20 years ago, and I think it just got wiped out with, I think actually the fertilizing people put too much on the plants and many died. So yeah, I had less plants when they were working here than I have now. I take care of everything myself. Nobody seems to know how to do anything. So that's a Masenda philippi. It's very velvety. The flower is about, and it's a bract. The true flower is the yellow flower, like in a poinsettia. As a matter of fact, it is a euphorbia, so it's why it's got that. And those peachy things will last a long time, unless there's a bad storm, and that will louse it up. We'll see. We'll know that when we start getting rained on. But look at all the coconut babies that are coming up. It's kind of neat. So all you have to do is just throw them under the tree, and many times they'll sprout. I'm not saying most of the time, but probably about 50% of the time, and it's really neat. It's something for nothing. These are my favorite anyway. The green Malayans. I don't like the golden Malayans. They look like they're sick all the time. But yeah, this is very, and it's free and it's neat. And if you sprout that with another 3 or 4 fronds coming out of it, it comes right out of the neck of that damn thing. It's coming through 2 shells to live. It's a very hard, the traditional coconut shell that you see in supermarkets. Well, this husk is about 2 inches and surrounds that. And that, I guess, protects the tender actual coconut, the edible part that you would see, but it is less likely to expire because it's the lawn crews that louse things up here, basically. Anyway, I'm going back now. This is the west side of the house. There's another coconut sprouting right there somewhere. I don't know what the viewpoint is with this damn camera, so. Excuse me, I call it a film. Here it is. This is the coconut that's sprouting. That's a little longer. I don't know if I don't think I could leave it there. We have too many trees, and they only want you to have 3 trees. I'm going to swing around and show you. Oh, anyway, so here you are. Garden of Eden, Garden of Eden, Garden of Eden, that kind of, gives you that impression. I mean, that's a lot of Garden of Edening. That's the whole side, 191 feet deep, remember I said. And here you just pan around, pan around, pan around. You've got these are all triangle palms, Dipsis tecarii, and a Panadu utilis screw pine. Pain in the ass plant, but real tropical, very, very tropical looking. I like them. And those are all seeded. Remember, I've been here a long time though, so you're gonna get that effect. But yeah, screw pines are really nice. Spines on every branch. They're always falling, shedding, crapping, but it's a good plant. All right, now let's go progress a little further. So you got this wonderful Garden of Eden. When this place was put in here, it was put in filled land. There wasn't one tree here because it was all artificial. This land at one time was underwater, and this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Woodwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Now, I'm going to shock you. I say, it really looks pretty, don't it? I don't know, this damn thing is, oh God, whatever. Well, this is what we have on our side. This is what the windows look out upon. And then you just go this way, and you see what's you're next to. Are we sterile? Must be. Are you sterile? Oh my God, let's just see. Now, the community planted that because this was to hide air conditioners. Look at this, here's the property line, right? It's right on the property line. We've had fights over, but it is on the property line. And then you see all this monument. I'm going to turn around now. Just look at how blank this is. This is what I look at, or would look at it if the windows didn't have, ridiculous, didn't have some kind of a barrier to mitigate the view. All right, so that's a palette that doesn't never get used. The lady says, we don't even know what to plant here. So just about anything you put in will do well. Well, she just got all hurricane resistant windows. She's obsessed with my trees ruining her house. Oh my God, look at this. Isn't it ridiculous? Oh my goodness, guys. Whoa. Yeah, it's so ridiculous. So here you go again. Wee. And you start to see, well, I'm fighting a losing battle. I must be, because this is what I'm going to have to deal with. I mean, you literally go from gorgeous to nothing much. What did they used to say? What did Shelby say in Steel Magnolias? I'd rather have 1/2 hour of of something special than a lifetime of nothing special. Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Now these trees, these are areca palms. That's a Dipsis no, oh come on, areca palms. I know that. Oh dear. Areca, not Romans offianum is queen palms. Well, anyway, it's a dip. You see it called arecas. It's not an areca at all. It's a dipsis. They've renamed it. It used to be with the other group, just because it was in Madagascar. But now here we are in the middle of the property. I stupidly just kind of left, but let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back in time. Now here is the biggest window out on the blank wall, which is where the arecas are planted. But if you get a little closer, you can see that we're just totally geared for fruiting. And yes, of course I like fruiting, you know that. There's a teak tree. It's just shedding its leaves now. By rights it should never be growing here, but it is. This is zone 11B probably. I don't think the temperature's ever gone below 47, 48 here, which is nice, but that's why we're having hurricanes more, because it's too hot. You've got, I'll just describe because I don't think you can see from this distance, but you've got a star fruit, you've got 3 mangoes, you got an avocado, you got a mamey sapote, you've got up yonder here is a egg fruit canistel. And yeah, that's actually doing quite well. And you know, you can see like the teak doesn't look so great now, but it will fill in really well as and new leaves are already coming out. I see, so that's cool. Come out, wherever you are, and meet the fine gentleman who makes this not look like a slum. Don't be so glum. Oh, he has brought you news, oh, haven't you heard? When he fell out of the tornado, a white night occurred. There really was no miracle. What happened just was this. The house began to pitch. The kitchen took a slitch. It landed on my horrible old manager, and he landed in the ditch. Anyway, you got all this neat fruit here. I can take a rest again. We have 2 members of the family that's known for its breadfruit. It's the Artocarpus family. This is Artocarpus heterophylla, I guess it is. Jackfruit. So I've seen it Jackfruit or Jakfruit. It's from Southeast Asia and does doing very well. And you got I interspersed it with color because I want gingers and heliconias here to give us a little more something pretty. By the way, this tour is down to 5 minutes and 30 seconds, so I'm going to cut this as we're going down this last part of the house, because we're not going to be able to do anything more now, so you're going to have to wait till the next volume of this comes out. I might do it today, but I'm so tired that I probably won't, so don't count on it, buddies. Again, you've got, it's a purple element. It's a sort of a windy vine, but no spines, unlike our horrible bougainvilleas, which I hate dearly with a passion. This is a seedling of a royal palm. Seedling. It just came up from a seed that's not particularly large. It's about the size of half the size of an M&M, and this is what you get from that. All that. Wow. You've got a struggling Bismarckia that probably is okay, but it's lost a lot. I don't see its terminal spear, but I have a feeling it is there, and I'm going to wait and see because I can't see ruining it right now. I don't want to do anything to it because the crown can, when the crown breaks, the baby will fall. We don't want that to happen. So that's the back corner of the house. We're hugging the line. Here we go again. Here's their backyard. My property line is just includes about a foot of that sod. But I had a fence, but I needed the light, so I said, "Oh well, we'll see. We'll give it a try." And it's, by George, I think it's got it. Now we're coming on to something that's been hacked at for about 8 years, and they keep coming back. She's left them alone lately. Is Pedro Ortiz. It's a heliconia. ginger family slash banana family. Nice plant, really is. And it's just starting to bloom. And I mean, these idiots, look at that. This is what they would do. They would actually begrudge you enjoying something as pretty as that, and they could too at their border. That's pretty damn nice. But, you know, people are people. That's the corner. Jason, my landscape guy, put in a huge bromeliad that's in a huge clay pot, and it fills in that area nicely. It blooms better when it gets a little air. It's too wet here. And here you go now into the, you got 3 minutes for me to show you what makes this so nice. I'll just back up a little bit. You've got just the dominant palm here is our Canto Phoenix Alexandre. It could be a Corunda special. I don't know if it is or not, but you've got all kinds of things. That whole clump is our Canto Phoenixes with one hurricane palm, which is right here. That would be that's Dictosperma album. Beautiful plant. So it's coming back, but it's very close to the line, and she might hack it because they have been doing that. They do hack these things. And I'm going to fix this ground. You couldn't see it before because of the fence, cheap bamboo fence. But look at this here. This is really neat too. I mean, living here is horrible, but what you can do because of the temperatures. This is a potato tree. It's the only member of the potato solanum family that actually grows into a real tree. This just shot off. I've got 4 of them, but this one really looks great. So and it almost looks like either a papaya or a breadfruit leaf. You got a false aurelia there. You've got a bamboo palm, Chamaedorea. You've got an allspice tree, which is really pretty, right in that nook there, and so on and so forth. I think we're going to start wrapping. That's a fire spike. Jason put in 3 colors of it. Purple, which you barely see there. I think that's a purple one. Oh, it's making me dizzy too. And then you have the same thing in an orange, which is really a surprise. I've never seen him in orange. I don't know where he bought it. I kind of know, but I really, look at that. Isn't that neat? Wow. It looks a little bit like the Masenda leaf too, as you can see, because it's also in the same familia. We're down to 1 minute, and I want to show you just this panning thing. And here you go. That's more of the side. Remember what we just came from. That. No comments. And here we are at a very large bamboo, and it's I think it's a black trunked bamboo. You have a bunch of coconuts that this is all sprouted from nature. And this is nobody in South Florida does this. It's expensive. It's vulnerable to storms, but you know what? It looks great. Now you have the traditional red fire spike. Anyway, I love you guys. We're going to go through this Alberto thing. I don't know if I'll be regularly recording, but I might. You never know. Be good to yourself. You're the best friend you'll ever know. Bye. Hey gang, we're back. It's Paul, and this is Life Under the Palms. It's May 25th edition. It's the weekend, right? Smack dab against Memorial Day. Remember I showed you about the, maybe you don't remember because you didn't see it, because you're not watching enough. But anyway, that's the potato tree. It's a solanum. I don't know the last Latin name, but it's just asked for potato tree. There is no other one. And then we had the fire spikes that, as I told you, comes in colors that I never even thought. This orange is beautiful. Doesn't even do it justice here. And there's your purple one. And here's your allspice tree. And you're going to see some coconuts. Starting to rain now, which is not surprising. Nice coconut hidden in here. Very naturalized. And everything here looks like it's supposed to be here. It doesn't look like that. Yes, and I did fall over those pipes. I was on her property. Yes, I was hauling the hose backward. I flipped right over the damn thing. So, yep. Caveat emptor. Beware, beware, beware. But yeah, look at the stark difference. Is it even possible that there could be such a contradiction in homes? Well, I guess. So we're gonna go back again a little further, and we see there's a huge bamboo. I see they broke a branch off for spite, so I'll go ahead and cut that off. You have another coconutage here with about, maybe 4 years of growth, 4 years of growth. You're cutting into the red fire spike that I cut the last entry on. This is the one that you usually see. It's particularly beautiful. Very, very healthy. All these, we put all these plants in probably stuff that you would never think about if you live not in the South Florida, because your soil has no fertility here. It does absolutely nothing for the plants. So here we're going to go. I want to show you something. I'm going to do that much here because it's kind of, it's all right. Areca's on the border. Big ones have been here for 25 years. The little ones have been here for 4 years. And everything's doing well. You got a golden coconut. That's the ones I hate that I said. Yeah, I don't like it. I just think they look sick all the time. I'm just going around the bend. I know you might detest that cliche, but that's what we're doing. And that's a reseeded Royal Point Sienna. You would never expect that to be, but yes, everything seems to do well when it wants to live here with people that care. Throw a TLC into it. You got the whole back. Remember, I think I said to you that it's about 151 wide. It's a modified pied shape. 151 wide in the back. 64 64 feet wide in the front. It's a third of an acre, and most of the benefit is the backyard, which is what I was looking for. And that helps it because you can get a sweep. Now look at this. There's your whole, and it looks pretty estate-like, doesn't it? Oh, but we can't afford any gate here, so it's not an estate home. But look at how beautiful. This is what you see when you drive by here. Coconuts, how far away? Little Rock ARK, Princeton NJ, how far are they? Our Royal Point Sienna is just leafing out. Hurricane loused it up so much last September 10th that it really went into heavy dormancy. It's just starting now. A few flowers I noticed over there, so that's cool. They're a messy tree, but they're also so very pretty when they're all leafed out. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, what do you see that you'd want to do better with a piece of land like this? I'm on a 7-foot tall berm, so it's totally private. No fences needed, and you got this gorgeous botanical infrastructure here. So I love it. I love it. 27 years it will be next March. And I mean, just look at the scope of this place. It's huge. And I mean, it's been raining. It's hot, though there's no sun today, and I am getting spritzed on a little bit. But come on. That's a Sylvester date. Phoenix sylvestris. You got a mahogany macrophylla here. That's a Honduran mahogany. Pretty rare for this part anyway. And then you have a beautiful, we're looking at the silhouette of it, but we're looking at a African oil palm. Elaeus. Beautiful, actually beautiful. I think it's Elaeus guianensis. It's a big tree. They trim it because it's on their swale. I bought a $900 tree for them, but look what they put in. Nah. This used to have huge Ficus benjamina trees, a wonderful backdrop. The house is within 150 feet, and they cut 6 of them down because they said, nope, we can't use those trees. They could use them. It didn't hurt anybody, but look at this wonderful mound. Really nice. It's a great berm. And what privacy. You don't hear a damn thing here at night. As a matter of fact, it's like almost haunted. It's kind of funky. You can just see a peek of the house right through here. I don't even know if I can zoom in. Let's see. Oh God, I don't know. I mean, There's a house in there. You can see. There's a house in there. And here you go into banana jungle. Okay, here's a banana jungle. And scented bananas, which are basically ornamental. And now this was weird. We had to drastically end our free reigning property right here because the folks next door, when we loved them, had do have mastiffs they raise, and the dogs just go nuts. So, but you know, they love what we have next door, and they would apologize beyond what you even had expected them to do. And they said, no, it's okay, it's your property, you have the right to do what you want. But what Raul and Christina, their names, did is instead of going all the way to the front, they just did to the half, so they can enjoy out their windows this instead of that. And that's kind of how things go here. So, yeah, it's good to have friends. And you really got the nice view of the Laus guineensis and Gaiensis, and your Phoenix sylvestris and your Eureka's. And I'm sorry, I just screwed up on the Latin name. Now, this side was all new because we had to divide this property. You see these trees planted? That was all stuff I planted. I planted all the way up to there, Gumbo Limbo, right there. So they knocked most of the, you know, I mean, I didn't expect them to keep it because they have kids and dogs, and there's plenty here. You don't need any more. But look at how nice it is. This is their property line, but fences do make a good neighbor, absolutely. So it turned out real well. The next portion of this, folks, is probably going to be when I do the right side of the house. So that will be coming up soon. Hope you're enjoying this. I am. My very astute photography uncle said you only take pictures of landscapes during, well, what do you say, cloudy days, because they don't photograph. People don't want to see the sun, and now you do get a perfect cover. He tells all his students that, so to speak, and that's kind of neat. Anyway, that's what we got, and I think I see some poinciana flowers here. That's kind of cool. It's Paul with 6 minutes to go. I'm going to sign off now, and I'll catch you on the other side of the break. Take care, folks. Love you. Bye now. Well, hello again, my gang at Life Under the Palms. It's Paul, and this is going to be the third part of our landscape design in the all four sides of the house and into the backyard, little courtyard, little nature area. As you can see, and I guess if you still followed the other two parts, you can see exactly what we had in terms of its lushness. And of course, as I tried to show you, oh boy, looks like we don't have anything on the other side. I don't know how people can live in cement, but they can. And that's basically what we've been working with. I've been very stubborn about not having these plants messed with, and for the most part, it's working out all right. And I guess before we started filming, we were about in the midst of wondering where Tropical Storm Alberto would go. We got hardly anything from it. A lot of areas did get quite a bit of rain, but we didn't, and that makes me a little sad sometimes. But you see, we still have the windiness. The humidity is 85%, the dew point is 78, which means we're going to get some popcorn type air mass thunder showers this afternoon, most likely. You can see everything's looking all right, though. It's none the worse for wear. I don't really like heavy gully washers anyway, because they really do more harm than good. They beat the plants, and a lot of these plants have very large leaves. They don't take too well to being beaten up by storm systems. But again, if you remember, we were here at the garden area. This is a west-southwest exposure, and it really is very, very good for most of our fruit trees, which indeed this is the area for our true fruit trees. We do have some heliconias and costas, alpinias mixed in here with jackfruit, meme sapote. We have a beautiful, really beautiful now, star fruit, which should be coming into production. And if we zoom up this way, we have a canistel egg fruit, which tastes like sweetened sweet potatoes, basically, or something just in the kin of a sweet potato pie. That's kind of the way it's supposed to taste. But the view from that window is particularly horrid, so we went with the fruiting plants just to give it a little bit of a barrier from that ugliness. And some things are doing better than others, but the sun angle is shifting now, and I think that probably will make things look even that much more pretty. That's your Thai plants. Thai plants are always nice for just a little accent, along with some yucca and some orchids that are hanging from some of the trees. It's been a good good marriage of different types of plants, and as you pan this way, you can see that we're really pretty heavily foliaged, which also is a great savings from the Department of Saving Air Conditioning too. And we go back, now we're going towards the middle of the house on the left-hand side. We passed that yucca a few days ago. Now we're going, this green, large green leaf in the back plant is Brazilian red cloak. It's got a very much a ginger-like flower, a spiky flower, really medium red, and looking very, very sharp. I mean, if you can see, if you see any piece of property here that isn't festooned in foliage, you're probably missing a lot. But yeah, indeed, we're covered with it. My conception with this South Florida property is there was really nothing to look at that couldn't have been enhanced by a bit of foliage. Well, we've got foliage, all right. 27 years later, we really do have a very nice ambiance. It's kind of weird now because you're seeing green, and about another month when I show this, there'll be a lot more flowers on the plants. But it just shows everything took so well. Hurricane Irma last September 10th did take a lot of life out of the trees, so they really did have to recover. I think I showed you this seedling royal palm yesterday. Didn't put it in there at all. A bird did, and it's doing very well. Got a couple of Arcanto phoenixes. You got a triangle palm here that's pushing its new frond up, and you got a loquat, which I didn't mention the last time, which produces really nice sweet cherry kind of flavor. It's very, very tasty. Yeah, I'm not particularly thrilled with this Thai plant, although it is distinctive. It's a lot more pink. I like the bright red ones. They give you a little more contrast, but it's almost becomes almost like a salmon pink, so it's not too bad. His Juan Ortiz, the hacked about heliconia that we looked at before. I'll show you one more time because it's a real pretty inflorescence. And yeah, that's this particular plant. You got manhandled so many times. Look at that pretty. It's just a really nice inflorescence, and also makes a great cut flower. In the vase will stay quite a long time. All right, so now what we didn't do last time, and we're going to try now, is to go into the inner sanctum here, which is the garden path. Really, really pretty. This is what makes me so proud of this particular piece of property. So it was a lot of time-consuming work to get this all dug out. We've got a path that's probably about, and it's an oval path, maybe about, I don't know, about 60 foot around and maybe about 15 feet wide. But you would be not so surprised if you think like you've been transferred right into the Amazon. It's really, really pretty. And just the shade versus what people usually have to deal with here is so different. Absolutely. Look at your treescape. This is what you look at if you're in one of the areas of South America or Central America that is a lush rainforest. It's really, really beautiful. And just, it's such a nice treat for the eye to see something that isn't so manufactured and so, I don't know, boring. Would that be a good word to use? I think so. Now this area here had all kinds of plants, and before the ones that came here finally took, and I bought seedlings from Jeff in Hawaii, in Mountain View, Hawaii, and it, well, let's put it this way, everything's taken. Let's move this out of the way. This is a very, this is that wonderful rare Cocoloba. It's a giant leaf sea grape, and it doesn't really, it's just getting going now. I think it probably likes bright sun better, but I have a feeling it'll be okay here too. My guess is that it will. Take that away, and just do a little bit of cleanup here. I have no idea. Let's say. There we go. This is a beautiful hurricane palm. It's a nice orangey new frond that comes out. It's about 5 feet tall. A bunch of this sea of Arcanto phoenixes, which really is all naturalized. Very, very large crotons, more for tree-like shrubbery as opposed to something small for an accent. Crotons will grow into that kind of a shape. This is an interesting palm. It's a Becario phoenix mascarensis, and what it is basically what they call it the window pane palm, because in the frond there's an opening all the way up to the rachim, and that gives you a look of it looking through like a slatted window with the shutters in. Really very interesting, and they grow fairly tall. Here's a look back towards the screen room with just a view of, let's see, here we go. That's better. Yeah, just a view of what we look out at in our garden. Really very, very, it's just so peaceful. You know, there's a tree fern in the back there. These Arcanto phoenixes have all fallen on their own, and they're ready to go. Yeah, look, I see this here, the gigantic leaf from Bismarckia, which is still deciding to come back. Oh boy, that's heavy. Come right into here. The palm tree litter is fantastically large, heavy too, but that's a good sign that this Bismarckia is coming back, because it was really nailed. When you get a tree that high, it doesn't have the ability to escape the winds of a hurricane. So the winds are much higher up there, and that's why it's having a little bit of an issue. But it looks like it's doing well. So we're working our way towards the centered part of the garden now. Our screen room is right behind the tree ferns. Just going to pan around real slowly. In subsequent sessions we'll look at exactly what we have back here. But there's some rare plants, some semi-rare plants, or at least plants you don't see as often here, which would be over here you have a sausage tree from Africa. Hasn't done its thing yet, but it will. You have a cannonball tree here from Guyana, which really is a weird looking tree. The cannonballs, or just seed pods, kind of impregnate themselves, and they are floriferous, or they practice cauliflory, so the fruit is right on the trunk. But that's coming into its own very well. What was interesting with Irma is it gave us a chance to grow different kinds of things and they took on different shapes because of the fact that they had more light now. So we used that as an idea to do something that we didn't even dream of doing before, which was using this for a fruiting garden. And here's not so much the changes, but there you go. Here's the house with the, it's under construction. It's not particularly the way I want it to be now, but we lost a lot of foliage from our alocasia. Irma made it bloom because it thought it was going to die. So what alocasias and calocasias do is, before the plug is pulled, so to speak, they'll send out a bunch of flowers and seeds so they can perpetuate the plant. Well, it didn't die, and we're getting new leaves on it, but they're of a much smaller size. But this can be very pretty. I think it's going to evolve into a Japanese kind of garden. And right here, this is a Pelagiodoxa. Came again from Jeff at Floribunda Palms in Hawaii. It's probably the best looking that I have ever had them here. Each leaf gets longer and longer, and without wind they'll not split, and the largest foliage probably will be about, I'd say probably about 8 to 10 feet long. But that's going to be a showstopper because it's all by itself, and that needs to stand on its own. It's surrounded by Thai plants and areca palms, the true areca, and that's the betel nut. That's what that is really a pretty canopy. Again, where there was none before. The oldest of these plants has been here for about 25 years. The newest have been here maybe just about 2 or 3 years, but all in all, it's a happy little collection. And we're going on a minute here, so we're going to do a little wrap. There's so much to see that I'm tending to make it even a little bit more than it has been. But yeah, again, we have our old fountain, which I'm going to fill with water plants because it's staying full. I'm going to try papyrus and some lotus. Yeah, you see a Norfolk Island pine that did fall down, and it's propped up, but it's doing quite well, looks like now. There's Camellia arboreas are the deciduous trees, and a kapok tree with the green trunk. That came from a seed in China. Darn thing is, you'd never know that. It's beautiful now. But really, this is a nice walk, and the more that you can see the undulation of the walk, the nicer it is. But you've got all kinds of shade and light there. It's really good. With the fountain on, which we only do in the afternoons now, it really is quite. Well, hello again, my gang at Life Under the Palms. It's Paul, and this is going to be the third part of our landscape design in the all 4 sides of the house and into the backyard, little courtyard, little nature area. As you can see, and I guess if you still followed the other 2 parts, you can see exactly what we had in terms of its lushness. And of course, as I tried to show you, oh boy, looks like we don't have anything on the other side. I don't know how people can live in cement, but they can. And that's basically what we've been working with. I've been very stubborn about not having these plants messed with, and for the most part, it's working out all right. And I guess before we started filming, we were about in the midst of wondering where Tropical Storm Alberto would go. We got hardly anything from it. A lot of areas did get quite a bit of rain, but we didn't, and that makes me a little sad sometimes. But you see, we still have the windiness. The humidity is 85%. The dew point is 78, which means we're going to get some popcorn type air mass thunder showers this afternoon, most likely. You can see everything's looking all right, though. It's none the worse for wear. I don't really like heavy gully washers anyway, because they really do more harm than good. They beat the plants, and a lot of these plants have very large leaves. They don't take too well to being beaten up by storm systems. But again, if you remember, we were here at the garden area. This is west-southwest exposure, and it really is very, very good for most of our fruit trees, which indeed this is the area for our fruit trees. We do have some heliconias and costas, alpinias mixed in here with jackfruit, meme sapote. We have a beautiful, really beautiful now, star fruit, which should be coming into production. And if we zoom up this way, we have a canistel egg fruit, which tastes like sweetened sweet potatoes, basically, or something just in the kin of a sweet potato pie. That's kind of the way it's supposed to taste. But the view from that window is particularly horrid, so we went with the fruiting plants just to give it a little bit of a barrier from that ugliness. And some things are doing better than others, but the sun angle is shifting now, and I think that probably will make things look even that much more pretty. That's your Thai plants. Thai plants are always nice for just a little accent, along with some yucca and some orchids that are hanging from some of the trees. It's been a good marriage of different types of plants, and as you pan this way, you can see that we're really pretty heavily foliaged, which also is a great savings from the Department of Saving Air Conditioning too. And we go back, now we're going towards the middle of the house on the left-hand side. We passed that yucca a few days ago. Now we're going, this green, large green leaf in the back plant is Brazilian red cloak. It's got a very much a ginger-like flower, a spiky flower, really medium red, and looking very, very sharp. I mean, if you can see any piece of property here that isn't festooned in foliage, you're probably missing a lot. But yeah, indeed, we're covered with it. My conception with this South Florida property is there was really nothing to look at that couldn't have been enhanced by a bit of foliage. Well, we've got foliage, all right. 27 years later, we really do have a very nice ambiance. It's kind of weird now because you're seeing green, and about another month when I show this, there'll be a lot more flowers on the plants. But it just shows everything took so well. Hurricane Irma last September 10th did take a lot of life out of the trees, so they really did have to recover. I think I showed you this seedling royal palm yesterday. Didn't put it in there at all. A bird did, and it's doing very well. Got a couple of Arcanto phoenixes. You got a triangle palm here that's pushing its new frond up, and you got a loquat, which I didn't mention the last time, which produces really nice sweet cherry kind of flavor. It's very, very tasty. Yeah, I'm not particularly thrilled with this Thai plant, although it is distinctive. It's a lot more pink. I like the bright red ones. They give you a little more contrast, but it's almost becomes almost like a salmon pink, so it's not too bad. His Juan Ortiz, the hacked about heliconia that we looked at before. I'll show you one more time because it's a real pretty inflorescence. And yeah, that's this particular plant. You got manhandled so many times. Look at that pretty. It's just a really nice inflorescence, and also makes a great cut flower. In the vase will stay quite a long time. All right, so now what we didn't do last time, and we're going to try now, is to go into the inner sanctum here, which is the garden path. Really, really pretty. This is what makes me so proud of this particular piece of property.